Excited too.
I think we're live. Yeah.
So we're live. And we're live. Wow. Hello and good evening. And a very warm welcome to all the viewers on behalf of Women with Wings. We've gathered today again at 5 p.m. to know about the story of one more inspiring woman, Shruti Chaturvedi. Before I introduce our eminent guest for this evening, let me speak a little about this platform, Women with Wings. We bring to you the uniqueness of every woman and the story of her relentless efforts. She doesn't fret over troubles, nor cry during challenges. While she is extremely soft hearted, there's none stronger than her. The mission of this platform is to empower women with the help of empowered women by sharing their life mantra to the entire world. Talking about Shruti Chaturvedi, she is founder and editor at Chaipaani.com and a vivacious personality. Shruti believes that do not pay attention to what world needs. She says, look at what makes you come alive because what world needs is people who come alive. And she's a live example of it. Stories and positive conversations have always helped her come alive. And that's the result Chaipani came into existence. It's a positive media platform that talks about everything which is good in the world, everything which is positive. Chaipani has over 1,50,000 subscribers who believe in the power of good. She's an engineering dropout, a graduate in psychology, and a diploma holder in journalism and mass communication from St. Xavier's College, Ahmedabad. Talking about some of her many feathers in her cap, she is a recipient of prestigious awards like Karamveer Global Fellowship and Build India Award. She has also been a TEDx speaker for positive impact created through Chaipani. Apart from being the founder and editor at Chaipani, she also holds a very important position of concept manager at HR Milestone, which happens to be a very robust HR forum. Welcome, Shruti. We are very happy to have you here. Very glad.
Thank you so much, Aditi. Thank you so much for this introduction. And I'm so excited to talk to you so professionally today because I've always
Same.
spoken to you as a friend.
Same here. I'm so glad. I'm so excited, and I'll be asking you certain questions which even our viewers would like to know.
Definitely. Anything.
Thank you so much. I'll just let you know who is talking here since past 2-3 minutes. I'm Aditi. My name is Aditi Kulkarni, and I'm an HR executive at Zero Green Waste Management Private Limited. Just one line about myself: that mantra for my life is keep smiling and keep gifting smiles. That's what I believe in. So, Shruti, over to you now. I'll keep on throwing questions at you, and we expect answers from you.
Bracing myself for it. Yes, let's go for it. Hi, Jalpa. Hi, Pani. Yes, Aditi.
Wow. So the first question to you is, what made you choose engineering as a career in first place?
I think I was naive. मतलब also it's more like a herd race, right? अगर आपके सारे दोस्त engineering करने जा रहे हैं, so you want to stick around your friends and you want to do the same thing. I remember I was in 11th and everybody was already preparing for JEE exams and they were all going to Bothra and whatnot coaching classes. So mostly to stick around people and आप जब I think 11th 12th में होते हो आपने अगर science लिया है maths के साथ, then the only scope that you've been told is engineering. Other than that और कुछ exist भी नहीं करता है. And I genuinely loved maths and physics, so I also thought that okay I would enjoy studying it. And I think वही 17-18 साल की उम्र में आप कितना ही आपका decision making power होता है, कितना आपका intuition होता है. And yes, I did like what everybody else does, so I went for engineering.
Wow, that's wonderful. So fear of missing it out, kind
Yeah.
of when you were in school and wanted
I
to
know.
stick around. That's great. That's so lovely and very cute, actually. So we just learned that you dropped out of engineering, and your father asked you to complete the examination so that you are not pinpointed that you left it halfway, and you
Yeah.
scored brilliant 8 CGPA out of 10.
Hmm.
And you just left it. So the question is, what made you leave it? And secondly, had you planned anything? Did you have in mind what you'll be doing, or it was leap of faith for you?
So one when I had to leave, like when did I get to know? I think the first month itself in the college. मतलब I used to be so disheartened to wake up every morning and I'd be like, अरे यार कहाँ लेके जा रहे हैं वापस से वो बस आएगा 2 घंटे तक बस में बैठ के जाओ and I was just like a dead body sorts like being transported from one place to another like no soul at all. So yeah, I mean वो 1 महीने में समझ आ गया था कि अगले 4 साल अगर ये किया then I am gone forever. Like I have no like life at all because one the college was so sad, the students were so sad, and I used to like even like studying attending lectures used to be so intimidating for you. For myself and so I figured ये नहीं करना है but you know again like you're 17 18 you don't know आपको ये पता है आपको क्या नहीं करना है पर आपको ये नहीं पता आपको क्या करना है so yeah I mean like the third month एक semester खत्म होने से पहले ही I told at my house that I don't feel like doing this and let me prepare for some other exams and then my father was like yeah but what other exams and this and that and I think they still thought that okay you know like she's grooving into it and she's still not sure and stuff like that और उनको लगा maybe I will stick around if I spend some more time here at the engineering college but I finished my first year and I remember by the end of first year I told them I am not going to go to the college no matter what काफी मतलब हाँ काफी लड़ाई वड़ाई तो की थी but like they were quite reasonable that way and I remember my father like we were on the dinner table and my father asked me कि अब क्या करना है and just without thinking anything I just knew that अब मुझे क्या नहीं करना है and I was always very interested in psychology like my father has been very much into hypnotism and psychology and I used to keep like you know I used to be like his jamura for all the experiments that he wanted to do so I was like okay maybe I want to study psychology because psychology के लिए मुझे arts पहले पढ़ा नहीं होगा तो चलेगा मैं वो भी पढ़ सकती हूँ I wanted to do economics or psychology and I thought because मैंने 11th 12th में economics पढ़ा नहीं है psychology is something that I can pick a book and just read so I said okay I want to do psychology I want to do BA in psychology and I think that came like a shocker to my parents because like my father was like हम लोग 10,000 का salary देते हैं BA वालों को and I thought to myself oh my god 10,000 का salary तो अपना नहीं होगा उससे कभी भी like my expenses are way higher than that but yeah like this happened and somehow my father my both my parents were quite supportive of it once they knew that now she's made her mind so अभी अगर हम जबरदस्ती भेजेंगे तो भी वो जाने नहीं वाली है वो सीढ़ियों पे बैठ जाएगी पर जाएगी नहीं so then they've been very supportive I mean I remember my father coming to the college helping me get my admission because I was a 1 year gap according to the arts college right because I went for my engineering so I was not 12 plus 10 1 plus 2 plus 2 so I remember my father coming and you know like talking to people talking to the college authorities telling them हाँ ये गई थी 1 साल engineering करके छोड़ कर आ गई है so but yeah that's how I got into but I would still say that was my first best decision of my life like quitting engineering because I wouldn't have done so many things that I got to do the moment I came out of that life because वो दिन का 24 घंटे कब खत्म हो जाता था वहाँ पे समझ ही नहीं आता था and you know you end up doing nothing you end up feeling so hopeless and doing that every single day for 4 years I just think of it now and I just shudder like क्या हुआ होता if I did not be but yeah
this is really a bold step that you've taken this is really motivating for people who really want to live their dreams and you know who really don't want to do certain things but don't have courage to do so
I guess
leave
it's
what they don't
also
want
lack
to.
of support system for most of the people. I would still considerably say that I was very well supported. That you know, like okay, if you don't, because imagine my parents had spent so much money in my coaching classes in getting my admission, and despite that, they allowed me to like okay, yeah, do whatever you want to do because one, they knew she wouldn't do anything anyway, but second, मतलब उतना परेशान नहीं किया जितना दूसरों के parents करते होंगे.
Wow, that's lovely. That's lovely. Shruti, we also learned that you used to work when you used to study psychology during graduation. You had an 8-hour shift as a news anchor. You actually went to the news channel to get selected as a news reporter. And then you were selected as a news anchor. And how was that experience? I mean, studying plus working and getting a gold medal on top of that. So how was that?
Yeah, I mean, I think of that time, it was really such an exciting time to be. I would go a little back from the first year of my college itself. Like I told you, my father had said this, कि हम 10,000 का salary देते हैं engineering BA वालों को. So I realized, okay, I still know कि हाँ मुझे, I just don't want to be a BA or an MA. Like I need to do more in my life any which ways. So I crafted like a 24 months का plan for myself, where like every 2 months I wanted to do internships in different fields, just so that I come to know where is it that I fit in. क्योंकि मुझे ये पता था कि हाँ, psychology is something that I guess everybody should read, like no matter what stream of life you get into, psychology is just important for everyone. But I knew I don't want to be a psychologist, but at that same time I wanted to use the time, utilize my 3 years of my graduation to learn as much. And I always tell this one example to everyone. आपने अगर डियर जिंदगी देखा है तो आलिया भट्ट शाहरुख खान को पूछती है that like how do I know if my life partner is the right life partner, and शाहरुख खान उसे बोलता है that हम कुर्सियां कैसे खरीदने जाते हैं, अगर हम कुर्सी खरीदने जाते हैं तो हम अलग अलग कुर्सियों पे बैठ के देखते हैं, अलग अलग सोफास पे बैठ के देखते हैं until we find that one chair which makes us feel comfortable. Now I guess that was my approach when looking for a career option, where I wanted to do everything once so that I know which is that one thing that I'm really good at, that where I can actually contribute, and where I'm actually even excited to wake up every morning and go there. So I crafted this 24 months internship plan. So I worked in accounts, I worked in finance, I worked in marketing, sales, HR, yeah, you name a department I worked in, and all of them in different companies. So 2 months internships I used to do. I used to do free internships, okay. And this one internship I remember at the newspaper house, जहाँ में मेरा बस एक काम हुआ करता था कि रिपोर्टर बोलते थे चाय रखा है, चाय लेकर आओ, तो मैं चाय लेके आती थी. फिर वो बोलते थे प्रिंट दिया है, प्रिंट लेकर आओ, तो मैं प्रिंट लेकर आती थी. And that was all that my job was. But again, like like when you have such a redundant job, then you have so much of mental space that you keep looking around, that आपके पास सिर्फ चाय देने में आपका intellectual capital use नहीं हो रहा, तो आप आसपास देख रहे हो कि हाँ आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप क्या कर रहे हो. So I learned how to, like how does the print designing, how designing team works, how the editing team works, how the reporting team works, because I had so much time at my hand. So from there, in the third year of my college, हमारे कॉलेज के बाहर एक होर्डिंग हुआ करता था, वहाँ पे संदेश न्यूज चैनल करके एक न्यूज चैनल शुरू हो रहा था. And they had put out this thing that they're looking for reporters and they're making the primary team right now. And I was like, okay, let me just go. I have a reporting experience. I was a reporting intern, and I was like, okay, let me just try. It's a new channel. And I went there, and they were interviewing me for reporting, and they were like, why don't you give a screen test? And I didn't know what the screen test is. And they were like, yeah, आपको guide करेंगे, आप चले जाओ. And they put me on a green screen, and I'm a Hindi bhashi that way, but born and brought up in Gujarat, so I have a fair understanding of Gujarati. But still my Gujarati was very English Gujarati, I would say. तो वो मतलब वो teleprompter पे कुछ तो था और वो बोले ये पढ़कर बताओ. And 2 days later I get a call back saying that we've selected you as a news anchor. And I was in one of the first 7 news anchors of the news channels. And that was a very surprising position to get into, because a news channel, and it was it was a mega launch, and the news channel right now is one of the number ones in Gujarat. And I got into that news channel, and that experience changed everything for me, because like you get an early taste of fame, you start making money, and everybody knows you, and you get to meet the biggest of the people and stuff like that. And that also created, I think, my first stint with politics, because I was always so interested in politics, and getting into the news channel, I started following politics and journal affairs and current affairs so much that that was very exciting. So मेरा कॉलेज खत्म होता था 12 बजे. सो 12 से 1 का ब्रेक, 12 से 1 आई यूज्ड टू बी इन द कार गोइंग टू द ऑफिस, और उसमें मैं लंच कर लेती थी अपना बीच में, जो भी हाथ मुंह धोना है, लंच करना है, सब कर लिया. And then from 1 to 10, sometimes 10 o'clock, I used to have my shift. So I used to work, and then 10 बीच में मतलब जो भी अगर असाइनमेंट होते थे या कुछ भी होते थे, my friends have helped me a lot with my assignments. Sometimes my friends have written like 2 copies of assignment, one for myself and one for themselves. But I लिखना अगर, because unit test बहुत होते थे. I was at Xavier's and we used to have like unit test all the time. So all the reading time I used to get was when the lectures were happening. So I was somebody who was very, very attentive in the lectures itself, because I knew I'm not going to get any other time otherwise. So हाँ, बस वो पढ़ के एग्जाम देते थे. वो जब हमारा मेकअप हो रहा होता था तब पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं अगले दिन का. So it was a very exciting time. And then 10 बज जाता था, घर वापस जाते थे, 11 बज जाते थे, 11 o'clock I used to sleep. Then I used to wake up, but I have missed every single first lecture of my college life because I used to be so tired by the end of it that I would never wake up at 7 o'clock at all. So I mean, I've missed all of those lectures, but very, very interesting, very inspiring journey. I joined in as a news anchor. I also started reporting on ground because I was just so tired of being like this, makeup girl, like makeup करके बिठा दिया उसे वहाँ पे और बोल रहे कि हाँ news बोल दो. So I also started reporting, and then I used to have some time on hand. So I used to work with the production people also. How do you make the packages and episodes and stuff like that? So I learned that, and that gave me a very good holistic experience of how a media company works from inside. So I got to know like what the processes are like, what is the organization design like, and how does it work. So I guess that also eventually helped me start my own company. So yeah, this was how that experience was like.
Wow, I just heard from you that there were internships that which you did and all free of cost. So,
Yeah.
if you can tell us the most exciting internship which you had and
My
anything.
my first internship, like it was at this digital media agency called Social Udan, and the founder reached out to me from Twitter. Like he reached out to me on Twitter saying, "I'm hiring. Do you want to be an intern?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And but it was a very exciting internship also because now I also run a agency and a PR company. And I never thought back then that I would ever start my own company. But I was like, हाँ मतलब tweet करने का कोई पैसा क्यों दे रहा है मुझको? Like I just have to like just tweet and write on social media and something like that. But that was very exciting. My internship with Coca-Cola was very exciting also because my father was working in the same place, and he would not tell anybody that his daughter was working in the same office, and I was not even supposed to address him as Papa in the office at all. And I remember he used to go in the car और मुझको company का बस में जाना पड़ता था. And I used to wait for company bus to take me, and I was like, "Why don't you just take me with you? You're going to the same place. We're going from with the same house to the same place." And he just wouldn't. But it was also a very exciting internship, very nice people, and a lot of learning. But again, like media was somewhere where I actually felt alive, like where I actually felt like waking up in the morning and just going there and doing it out there. So yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Lovely, Shruti. I mean, you are so vivacious, as I said earlier. You're so enthusiastic, and the way you're saying, I just feel like listening to you more and more. I keep questioning you, and I keep listening to you even more.
I will go on talking all the time.
That's lovely. So, my next question would be about Chaipani. I just learned that it was a small project which could have
Yeah,
been there only for a couple of months and फिर shut. उसके बाद शायद
yeah.
कुछ होता नहीं. But now it is a huge company, media house. So how did that strike you कि ये इसको ही मुझे आगे लेके जाना है and यही मेरी company है. This is my baby and I want to take it further.
It's a very funny story that way. So I started after my graduation got done. तो then my next step again, like आपको हर वक्त तो पूछा जाता है ना आगे क्या करना है, आगे बच्चा पैदा होता है और उसको पूछते हैं हाँ अब आपको क्या करना है आगे. तो जैसे ही मेरा ग्रेजुएशन खत्म होने वाला था, हाँ अब आगे क्या करना है, आगे क्या करना है. I was like okay fine, बीए के बाद क्या करते हैं, एमबीए करते हैं, एमबीए कर लूंगी मैं. So I started preparing for CAT. And then I had this 1 year time to prepare for CAT, and I was like, I just can't prepare for only CAT. Matlab, like that's such a boring life to have. And I was like, okay, this is the final time, final 1 year when I have to do whatever I want because I knew how it's going to work because I go for my MBA, I take an education loan for it, then I do my MBA, then I take up a job to like pay off my education loan. उतने में मेरी शादी करा देंगे, फिर बच्चे हो जाएंगे, and then you know how that whole cycle is like. So I was like, okay, so this is the 1 year that I have with myself to do whatever I want. So I started a side project called Chaipaani, which had already started when I was working in the media companies because I used to take like so many interesting stories to them, which were very positive and very constructive in nature. Like, as a journalist, you come across so many interesting people and they would never air those stories just saying कि हाँ ये TRP नहीं मिलेगा इससे. And I was like, okay, अगर आपको यहाँ पे TRP नहीं मिलेगा, I started a simple blog on the site and I started uploading all the stories there. And by the time my CAT ka results came and my college interviews happened and stuff like that, by the time Chaipaani already had good 25,000 readers every month, like 25,000 subscribers, which was a big number at that time. And I was just a one-person team and another friend who had a DSLR camera from my college who used to just come along. हम एक्टिवा पे जाते थे and लोगों का stories लिखते थे जाके, and it was just a very tiny 1 year project that way. And I remember when I had to finally take the decision कि हाँ MBA करना है नहीं करना है, and I decided no, I can't leave this now because 25,000 subscribers back then was a big number. We already had like 2-3 people in the next 1.5 months who were working, and I knew कि अब MBA करने चली गई तो I won't be able to do justice to both things together. So I was like, okay, let's just choose to do hands-on MBA. Why not? And I remember having this conversation with my parents as well. I was like, okay, let me give it like 2-3 years. If it does not work, then I will go and do my MBA because कैट है, मतलब एप्टीट्यूड थोड़ी ना भूल जाऊंगी, मैथ्स थोड़ी ना भूल जाऊंगी. आई कैन ऑलवेज गिव माई कैट अगेन एंड आई कैन ऑलवेज क्लियर अनदर एग्जाम एंड गो टू कॉलेज एंड डू माई MBA. So yeah, I mean that's how I started.
Great. So my next question would be वो पहला प्रोजेक्ट और वो पहला चेक जो चाय पानी को मिला. How was that experience?
Oh my god, we earned the first time. Okay, so this it's a very unconventional way of starting a company. You know, जब आपको कंपनी शुरू करनी पड़ती है, आपको पैसे चाहिए कंपनी शुरू करने के लिए. So जब स्टार्टिंग में मुझे करना था, and I knew that हाँ मुझे इधर उधर कहीं से तो मिलने वाला है नहीं है. So I started something like I started a crowdfunding project. So which is basically चंदा मांगना but थोड़ा इंग्लिश में, कि हम लोगों को बोल रहे हैं कि हाँ थोड़ा सा पैसा दे दो. And I remember I wanted 4.5 lakh rupees to tell the first 100 stories, to be able to afford the production cost and the team cost and stuff like that. So I just put it out online, telling people that okay, like this is the project that I've started. You've seen me tell so many stories for free so far, but now I need to hire more people, and I'm going to need so much money, and I don't have anything to return to you right now. But this is what I need, and I need your support to do that. And I guess at that point of time, people were already so frustrated with the kind of media that we have around us, which is so negative, so sensational all the time. And yeah, so people started supporting, and within 9 days, we had 5,80,000 rupees from 180 backers. I guess out of them, almost 100 of them were all strangers. Like I had no idea who they were, and like people donated from 50 rupees to 50,000 rupees, anywhere between those ranges for nothing in return, absolutely. And I think that was the first way, and it also built a great community of supporters for us, and that also gives you so much of responsibility to keep with you, right? That so many people have trusted you with their money, and now you can't run away, and like now you can't mess it up that way. So yeah, that was how we got our first trench of money. And I remember telling all my relatives, I was like, जो मेरी शादी पे आप देने वाले हो ना, वो अभी दे दो, शादी पे कुछ मत देना. Like just give me everything I have to do right now. So yeah, I think that's how we achieved the crowdfunding goal, and that was how the first amount of money that came to us to start the company.
Lovely. That's an amazing journey, and Shruti, truly an unconventional way. I mean, क्या planning and क्या strategy है. Hats off to you and your team for this. And my next question is related to this, which is about the topics. अब topics कैसे select करते हो? I saw it's about entrepreneurship, it's about innovation, it's about art and culture. So how do you choose topics, or how did you freeze upon or boil down to these three specific topics for your
So we
media?
have entrepreneurship, we have art and culture, we have innovation, and we have social change makers. So when I started Chaipaani, my goal was very specific, that like we wanted to tell stories of people that nobody was telling. Like today in media, you see so many positive Mondays and positive segments, but back then when I started, nobody was even ready to entertain it. And I was like, rather than telling people about the problems that are there out there in the market, we should rather tell people about who are the people who are solving those issues. So अगर आप देखोगे, all these things are very intrinsically connected, right? Like social activists and social workers, entrepreneurs for that matter, right? Like the amount of problems that have been solved in our lives today just because of great business people, great entrepreneurs who came up with ideas, so many scientific and technological innovations. So I thought, okay, like these are the categories of people who are the primary problem solvers of the world around us. So let's just start hyping them up. Let's just start amplifying them and telling people about their work, so that one, their work also gets amplified and more people come to know about it. More people start using their things also, and it also creates like a very constructive way of journalism where when I read the news, I don't feel horrible about it, right? Like अगर आज आप न्यूज देखोगे कि हाँ अगर गंगा में इतना पॉल्यूशन हो गया है, गंगा में इतना बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट है, ये है वो है, at the same time when we are telling you about the problem, we are also telling you about this one startup from IIT Kanpur which is also coming, like working on an innovation which basically degrades all the biodegradable garbage that is out there in the river. So at the end of it, you end up feeling very hopeful about the world. You also come together as a community where if you have something, you can contribute to them. There are so many stories where we have so many examples where हमने किसी का स्टोरी दिया, किसी ने यूएस से हमको लिखा that oh I have another technology that these people can use, can you put both of us in touch, and you put both of them in touch, and then a third company starts out of it. So I mean, it's been very interesting that way, and that's why we chose these people very specifically.
That's amazing. I have gone through some of your most of your articles actually, and they are so soothing and so healing. And एक के बाद एक positive news, and you really feel that this world is worth living. जितना भी वो नहीं जितना दिखाया जाता है, you still have oxygen to breathe, and to survive.
Exactly.
That's what your articles tell us and tell the readers. So that was really wonderful. Shruti, can you recall a story, or is there कोई भी ऐसी story आई हो आपके दिमाग में आपने लिखी हो about a woman who has undergone atrocities and उसमें से वो बाहर आए हो कुछ
Absolutely.
चीजें वो that she's gone through something really horrible and terrible and she's really come out of that
Yeah, a
successfully.
lot of stories, and I remember this one very peculiar story of Sona, this woman who, like from Bombay, who got married to somebody in the UAE, and 10 years into the marriage, I think 10 or 14 years into the marriage, and it was a very abusive marriage. And one day, finally, she gathered courage and she left the house. She came back to India and she told us her story, and we posted that video. And one that video sent like she was to so many people because the way she narrated her story. And आई थिंक सोशली वी हैव दिस कॉन्सेप्ट ना जो इजी बहुत होता है बोलना कि हाँ मतलब अगर आपके साथ डोमेस्टिक अब्यूज हो रहा था तो आप 14 साल तक शादी में क्यों रहे, पहले क्यों नहीं निकल गए, किसी को बताया क्यों नहीं. But nobody understands what actually how gaslighting works, and how how women are mentally also manipulated into living in very abusive relationships where we don't even realize that okay, like this is not what we deserve. And I remember in the comment section, I think that video got around 5 million views, and I guess more now. And
Wow.
so many comments in the comment section where so many women started sharing their stories, like women who were already in abusive marriages sharing their story. And there was this one comment of a woman who said that, I'm going exactly through something like this. And I've been thinking to like escape from the house since really long. But after this story, I finally have the courage. So today at 4 o'clock in the night, I am going to leave my house with my child. And in the comment section, okay, and suddenly I think within minutes, like people started giving her
I guess Shruti's video is stuck.
this way, and somebody was like, we'll book you a flight, we'll book you a train so that you can go. And that section became like so impactful. Like even today when I'm talking about it, I get like goosebumps talking about it. And that woman eventually escaped from her house and she's living a good life now, thanks to our readers, thanks to people in the section that day who told her, okay, if you need some money, give us your bank account, we'll give you some money to start your life. If you want a job, we'll give you a job and stuff like that. So it became like a very therapeutic experience for a lot of people.
Wow, that's amazing. You're brilliantly doing the social work, Shruti, by your articles and the way you described how people were helping the others and you kind
Yeah.
of bridging the gap as
The
well.
world is a very good place to live in, honestly.
Wow, that's lovely. My next question. Now, this is a very secret thing that you need to answer, which is the secret to come and to seek a place between the top 25 LinkedIn voices India
Ah,
2019. So, which is a secret recipe that Shruti
very,
Chaturvedi
very
has?
great. Honestly, how it happened, I can like I've shown my even inbox to so many people. Like one morning, I get a message from somebody from LinkedIn team, an email message from somebody from LinkedIn saying we've shortlisted you for top 25 voices, and we'll be releasing the list soon. We just wanted to inform you about it, and I was like, okay, great. And then nothing happened for 1 month, and 1 month later in the morning I wake up and like have so many notifications and so many messages from people saying, oh, you're top 25 voices. And I see the other 24 people and I'm like, what am I doing here? I don't deserve to be with Sadhguru and Kiran Bedi and another so many wonderful people out there. But honestly, I think LinkedIn का कोई recipe नहीं था. Like so many people ask me about it, and I think the only thing I stick to is like not posting bullshit, right? Like on LinkedIn, you see so many people like writing random WhatsApp forwards, motivating story. आज मैं इस कैंडिडेट को मिला और फिर वही कैंडिडेट को ऐसे आपको 50 लोग मिलेंगे जिन्होंने सेम कॉपी पेस्ट किया होता है वो स्टेटस को. And you're like, okay, how many people met this candidate? So yeah, I think one is when I kind of question bullshit that happens through our workplace culture and how toxic the whole work culture has become, right? Like the whole hustle culture, especially for entrepreneurs, कि आपको expect किया जाता है 12 घंटे काम करो, 18 घंटे काम करो, ये करो, have no life, do this, do that. So I basically keep posting about that, and I guess people relate to it. And I think I tell this to everybody who's looking for any LinkedIn suggestion is try to be as authentic, as original as you can. Like don't try to be somebody who you're not. Like it's I am like this, I'm like this, and that is how I will professionally also put myself out there. So because a personal professional का ना उतना distinction रहा भी नहीं है, right? Like anything is an extension of the other personality. So whatever you are, like don't make Facebook. Of course, you don't make LinkedIn another Facebook or Instagram, but at the same time, you don't try to look like too over smart to, like to become more hireable or more interesting to people, because I think most people can see through the bullshit.
That was my next question, Shruti. Thank you for addressing. मेरा next question यही था कि what do you feel कि क्या कौन सी आपकी चीज है जो readers को touch कर गई होगी, and you answered it very brilliantly. That what actually makes people read what you write. So
I
that's
think
really
maybe
good.
it's related a lot to कि हाँ somebody is out there जो हमको advice नहीं दे रहा है, because I kind of try to keep away from giving advice, one because I'm very young to give somebody any advice for people out there on LinkedIn, and second, I mean I just tell them, okay, like this is how it is, and like अब जैसे अवार्ड्स वगैरह का होता रहता है, like I remember like day before yesterday I posted this thing about the whole award scam that keeps going, right? Like so many people like 80,000 रुपए दे दो awards आ गया,
ये
अब
बहुत nominations and
award मिल गया, and then everybody is celebrating on LinkedIn. I was like, what nonsense world are you guys living in? Like how delusional does one have to be that? And I guess like a lot of people related to it, because a lot of people feel so shitty about themselves when other people around them get awards, and they are the people who are doing real hard work, just not giving money to get awards, and then they question their own worth. And I guess when I posted that, a lot of people felt okay, like हाँ ठीक है, हम भी ढंग का काम कर रहे हैं, just that we're not falling for that nonsense, and that's why maybe we're not getting some awards. So I guess try to be as relatable and try to be. And it's not like I have a LinkedIn content strategy, right? अगर मेरे दिमाग में कुछ आया तो मैंने आज लिख दिया, अगले 10 दिन तक नहीं आया तो नहीं लिखा. Like there is no pressure to keep posting something on LinkedIn or anything like that. Like LinkedIn is not paying me to post. So yeah, why?
That's brilliant. The next prashna to you, Shruti, is which one is your most challenging project so far, and what have you learned from it? Your learnings.
Every project, yeah. Like, but so I started a political consulting firm very recently, and I think that has been the most interesting part for me, where we decided very consciously to choose working with people who are actually trying to genuinely do things, and I don't have to sell my soul to work for them. So one, finding those kind of people was very difficult कि हाँ जिनका मतलब track record is spick and specular, and like picking people who don't probably have the amount of money that the other parties have, like the parties that we see today doing such horrible things to our country. So picking those people and putting your skill set used to help them grow. So, but I think politics has been one of the most interesting projects for me as well, when you try to understand people on the ground. मतलब हमारे घर में बैठ के हमको सब कुछ इतना easy लगता है ना कि अरे इन्होंने इसको क्यों वोट किया, उसने इसको क्यों वोट किया, but when you go on the ground and you see why who votes for who, and it's a very interesting thing, and I take it as a challenge that like today to everybody things feel like okay, like things are never going to get better and we are going to become a I don't know what Islamic version of an Hindutva Rashtra or something. But at the same time, I take it as a challenge that okay, like a lot of people like us, if we all come together and we all put all our skills to use to help people who are trying to oppose these people, then I guess there is still an alternative possible. And like it looks like a very unachievable project, but I hope it just works out.
Wow. That's brilliant. That's really brilliant. I am speechless after listening to this because इतना नया project है, politics जैसा इतना sensitive area है, and you have ventured into that. So that's really hats off to you, and again a bold and a brave move, Shruti. Congratulations for that. Another, the next question to you is regarding your parents.
Oh.
So, so I need to know at home who's the bad cop and who's the good cop for Shruti. Or the change roles.
I think they both are both of them are very smart people. Like they know how to play with her sorts, and now I also know how to play with them. So, but I guess like professionally, my father is somebody who I always keep sharing everything almost every single day. Because I know if there is something that goes wrong, and if I tell my mother about it, she will freak out a lot. And we constantly have this pressure of trying to not disappoint our parents. That like even if something goes wrong, you will try to not tell your parents about it and try to figure it out on yourself, because your parents want to see you happy and flourish all the time. And I don't think they can take your failure as well as you can take your own failure. So I try to not professionally share a lot, but with my father, of course, because he's also the director in my company and I need to keep him apprised with everything. And there are times when I'm so stuck, like I was horrible with taxes and I was horrible with compliances. And there came a time where I fucked it up so bad that I had to tell him. I was like, okay, now I don't have time and I don't have the patience to sort it out. can you please do this, because you do this professionally for other companies, why don't you do it for your own business company? So yeah, I mean, I do that, but good cop bad cop दोनों ही good है, दोनों ही bad है अपने अपने उसमें. Like when it comes to say marriages and stuff like that, I think my father is the good cop, my mother is the bad cop, and yeah, but now I figured how to play both of them. So
That's lovely, smart
trying.
answer.
Now they've also like given up and they've stopped trying.
Smartly answered. So, next question: 3 learnings from your father and 3 learnings from your mother.
Oh, okay. My father, like ethics are very important. Doing your conscience is very important. Don't do things that don't make you sleep at night. And humility. I mean, he's one of the most humble people. Like when I see him out there with people and like people he works with, and how people talk about him. So I think those 3 things. Mother to a lot of things, Baba. Like everything is like advice ka box with her. So I mean, like right from like वो जमीन पर लेकर आ जाती है ना, मतलब आप थोड़ा सा भी हवा में उड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं, she'll put you back on the ground. So I think one again humility from her. There is this very interesting thing that she taught, which I always tell people, and okay, I don't know how politically correct it is or not, but वो बचपन में ना हमको एक चीज सिखाती थी, हाथ का सच्चा लंगोट का पक्का. So which means कि हाथ का सच्चा मतलब be honest, and लंगोट का पक्का मतलब keep your character in place. Like if these 2 things are sorted for you as a woman, especially woman or a man, any which ways, like there is nobody in the whole world who can put you down. So like yeah, I guess like this is one thing I try to keep reminding myself almost every other day, because there are so many temptations that keep coming, right? And you want to try this and you want to do that, and you're like, okay, let's skirt this line, let's cross this line, but then you keep your reminding yourself about it and you just stick to it, and so far things have been fine.
There was one incident that you had mentioned. It was about your father. He drove you to Mathura because you wanted to have a delicacy. You were just having it, and you said कि मथुरा जैसा नहीं मिलता है. And what was the story all about?
My father is a very adventurous guy generally, and I remember my mother was in Mathura and we got a new car, and Diwali tha, and we were just home, both me and my father, around this time. And the morning I was like, chalo koi bahar khane chalte hain. And we were literally in our night dress, okay, and we just left and we had nothing to change, nothing at all. And he's like, हाँ चल चलते हैं. And my father only had his wallet with him, and I was like, what, in college at that time. And yeah, we started driving, and he's like, चल थोड़ा आगे जाके बड़ौदा तक हो, नहीं, he was like उदयपुर तक होके आते हैं. And Udaipur is just a 3-hour drive, and I was like, okay, let's go. And we go to Udaipur, and then he's like, चल थोड़ा और आगे जयपुर हो आते हैं. Then we go to Jaipur and we're having this gatte ki sabzi and this and that, and the only condition was मैं जिस ढाबे पे बोलूंगी वहाँ पे आपको रोकना है खाने के लिए. Like I don't want that nonsense कि यहाँ अच्छा नहीं लग रहा खाना, वहाँ नहीं लग रहा. I want to eat whatever I want. So yeah, and we were craving kachori, and Mathura का kachori and dahi bhalle बहुत अच्छे होते हैं. Like street food is amazing in Mathura, and I'm from Mathura, native place is there, so we wanted to have that. And we go to Jaipur, and my father, like, we reach Jaipur, and he's like, अच्छा आप 4 घंटे बस और चलाएंगे ना तो मथुरा आ जाएगा. And we took a holiday in Jaipur somewhere, and we were like in such shabby clothes and this and that. And next morning we go to Mathura. We didn't tell anybody. We just informed my mother that come in the market. We are here and we are taking you with us on a road trip. And we went. We ate everything in the market, and we just took the car. We took my mother, and we were like, okay, let's go home now in the car. So it was a very, very funny thing to do, and very adventurous. Like I think he's been very spontaneous that way. Yeah,
that's so lovely. ऐसा लग रहा था आप बोलते जाओ और मैं सुनते जाओ, हमारे viewers भी सारे सुनते जाओ. I mean, that was what I was feeling right now. And keep on talking with us. Shruti, the next is the rapid fire round, and you have to answer.
Okay, let's do that.
So the first thing, one dish that Shruti likes to cook. One dish that Shruti likes to cook.
Cook anything that is easy, like paneer bhurji. It's just so easy to cook. I can just make it in like 10 minutes.
Great. That's wonderful. Other one, what kind of person does Shruti like to marry? She'll like to marry calm, composed, quiet, or chirpy?
Calm, composed, and quiet. Like I'm very chirpy enough. Like 2 chirpy people will be very noisy.
Another one. One place that Shruti likes to travel.
Anywhere in the mountains. Like I love hiking. Like it's a new hobby that I found in the pandemic. So yeah.
Hiking. That's great. That's lovely. I like it too.
Yeah, I love it.
So next, this is again the rapid fire round. Pattern is slightly changed. I'll be calling out two words. You have to select one out of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Profit or revenues?
Profit.
Okay. Nice car or nice home interior? I hope, Shruti, we are audible.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
Friends, let us see.
Yeah, can you see me now?
Yes, perfectly
Yeah.
fine, perfectly fine. So should I repeat another
Yeah.
question? Just nice
Yeah.
car or nice home interior?
Nice home interior.
Nice home interior, okay. Online shopping or shopping in a store?
Online.
Phone call or text?
Text.
Cake or chocolate?
Cake. Lord of
You
cake.
you like to bake as well? Do you like to bake?
No, I don't know how to bake. No. I'm very new to cooking now.
Oh, okay. I guess Goa has taught you cooking, or you're still learning,
It's
right?
the pandemic. It's the pandemic. Like I freaked out so much and I started cooking on my own and now I don't think I will like anybody else's food. So
Wow.
I've been like measuring my food and I've been cooking everything and it's just a very therapeutic time for the day for me. So I've just started
Then-
cooking from June. मतलब उससे पहले I think मुझे दाल चावल रोटी सब्जी आता था but now I can make a few more things. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. That's great. So we're done with the rapid fire round, and lovely. I mean, you really did cool. My next question to you is: so we see a lot of photographs of yours road trips के साथ. फिर venue जब आपने ली है, जब ली थी तब का एक photograph है. So road trips
Yeah.
are part of hobbies, या फिर that is because that search of new stories.
It's hobby. It's hobby. Stories just happen on the way, but I love doing road trips and I love going around. And I guess I drive. I love driving also. So I mean, it just it was like a marriage of everything together.
Wow, that's wonderful. So lovely. My next question to you is: what's your mantra for sustainable growth of a business, and how do you perceive the role of your team in it?
Sustainable growth, I guess one is which I've learned the very hard way. I mean, like I've burnt a lot of money in my process because you know when you are young and you want to create more and more readers and more scale and this and that and you burn everything into it. But I guess now I will be more. I'm usually now very cautious about where I'm spending and I would usually spend in places that make more money for me. In It could be in terms of like real cash or it could be in terms of like interpreted revenue out of it, but yes, it has to be revenue generating. And I guess that is a more sustainable way of going about it rather than depending on investors' money and like other mode of payments that way. That is one, and second is try to take as little loan as possible. I mean, that's not a very
Healthy.
it's like a sword. It's like a sword on your neck all the time. So yeah.
Perfect. That's amazing. And something we would like to hear about Sham Ki Chai.
Oh, Sham Ki Chai, yeah. I mean, it just started like a few months before the pandemic in, I guess, October last year. So I wanted to, like, I was going to Ahmedabad and this friend of mine reached out to me saying unki teacher hai who is suffering from cancer and he was talking to her and he asked her, okay, how are you doing and stuff like that. And she said, I just miss one thing and that is I don't have anybody to share my evening chai with. And he told this to me and he was like, if you're going to Ahmedabad, can you just go meet her, have one chai with her and this and that. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. And the more I thought about it, and I put it on my Twitter telling people that, like there is somebody and in Ahmedabad, if somebody would want to like volunteer to just go and have chai with her. And so many people like agreed and so many people volunteered and they were like, yeah, we would like to go and stuff like that. And that's when I remembered, like that's when I figured how loneliness is such a pertinent problem. Like we could have like 1,000 friends and still be so lonely in our own lives. Like we can be married and we could still be lonely. We could have so many children and still be lonely. So loneliness is like a reality of the time, and we have so many people to talk to about anything and everything, but not exactly what we feel like. So we started something called Shanti Chai, where the point concept was that I will go to different cities, and I was on a 50-city tour right before the pandemic, before the lockdown, where every week I would be in a new city, in a new state, where we used to host a Shanti Chai, जिसमें हम 50-60 लोगों को invite करते थे, and nobody knows each other, so everybody is a stranger, and you are invited for chai. And first of all, we'll start by playing games, and you could be as rich as you want. You could be a student, you could be 80-year-old or somebody, but you have to play games. So we start by playing games so that everybody is loosened up and stuff, and then intuitively हम लोगों को pair करते थे, that like if I think that Aditi will like to talk to Jalpa, then I will pair Aditi and Jalpa even though they don't know each other, and we will put you on a table and we'll give you two leaflets and you have to talk with each other for 25 minutes, and you cannot use your mobile phone and you cannot talk about work, but you have to talk to each other for 25 minutes. And
Wow,
that's
that's
the शाम
amazing.
चाय concept, और आपको चाय मिलती रहेगी, आपको बस 25 मिनट बात करना है, and we'll give you chai, we'll give you food and snacks and everything, and you have to talk to each other. So it was a beautiful, beautiful concept, and we've received a lot of like amazingly, amazingly astonishing number of positive reviews for it. After the pandemic, we started doing it online, so now we pair people up on Zoom, like with people who don't know each other, and so it's the whole point is, like to help strangers become new friends in a very healthy way.
Wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's an amazing concept. Is something very novel for me. Something which is not a dating platform, and
Yeah.
something which is completely different. Completely different. Shruti, I have few more questions as well. Before that, let us see if there are certain questions from the viewers. This is for
Okay.
the viewers. In case you have any questions, please put in the comment boxes, and Shruti would address them. Dimple says, "What kept you moving ahead, Shruti? You're an inspiration for the young girls."
I mean, I just like living. So, I mean, I don't plan a lot. I mean, I take it one day at a time, and I do if I like doing something. If I don't like it, I don't think a lot and I just stop doing it and I find something else to do. I mean, I've tried to not confine myself with a lot of social rules कि हाँ आपको इसके बाद ये करना चाहिए, उसके बाद ये करना चाहिए. I mean, life is too short to like follow other people's rules anymore. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Dimple, for that question. Jalpa says, Shruti, you visited so many cities during stories coverage earlier. How you find the culture of different cities and even change of cities as living or working places? Thank you, Jalpa, for that question.
Thank you, Jalpa. Yes, I've traveled so much. I have changed my I've shifted from Ahmedabad to Gurgaon to Bombay to now in Goa. So I've changed quite a few cities as well. Now I live in Goa. I think one thing remains similar across the country as that is that people one love chai and people love talking about people. So like and everybody loves talking about themselves. So I think culture wise India बहुत ही अलग भी है और बहुत similar भी है एक दूसरे के साथ में जो हमारा जो spirit of India is very very similar everywhere. And otherwise, if you see culture and languages and the approach to life is so different everywhere, and it's just so beautiful because everybody is living the life that is acclimated to that particular part of the country that way. But our spirit हमारा सबका एक ही है that we love food and we love chai, and everywhere in the country, man, like they have different names of chai, but everybody loves chai. Even in Goa, there are people who love chai. So like they could love beer and they could still love chai.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
We have any more questions? Some more questions we can take up?
Let me check the comments.
Hmm.
When you're focused and committed, Dimple, I don't think I was focused at all. I mean, like that's the I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I am always jumping from one thing to another and just because I get bored too fast. So I mean, as long as something keeps my interest, I'm there. And the moment I feel like okay, अब मेरे को बहुत push करना पड़ रहा है खुद को, I just stop doing it.
Dimple, I guess you've got your answer.
Capturing every corner. What's next? I don't know. I just want to get out of the house first, and then what next? I have no idea.
Great. We have very interesting and into viewers.
Hmm. Yeah.
मजेदार questions भी पूछ रहे हैं, and they're really very touched by the way you
Thank
speak and the
you.
content that you speak, and they love you. We all love you.
Thank you. No, this
So
is such a good conversation to have, and so refreshing for me through the whole day. Like something nice happened in the whole day that I had to take a
same.
shower for. So, no, really, really nice, and thank you so much for this one.
Thank you for
Are
coming
there?
as well. We can take another. Dimple says very spontaneous. Shruti, that's for
Thank you,
you.
Dimple.
So, do we have any more questions? We can take last question.
I guess everybody I've spoken too much now. That अब questions नहीं बचे हैं. Either I'm too boring or either I've spoken too much.
You answered more than what they've questioned. So they don't need any questions now, I guess. Now I'm the one. I'm the one. Okay, this is the last one that we take. How do you keep yourself inspired?
I don't think that's a lot of effort for me because I'm in a profession where I'm meeting so many inspiring people every single day for work that वो inspiration का कमी नहीं होता है मतलब थोड़ा सा कमी होता है अगले दिन किसी स्टोरी करने जाते हैं और फिर लगता है oh my god if she's doing it why can't I do it so I think inspiration तो हमेशा चलता ही रहता है मेरा I
That,
mean
that's right.
yeah and like I said I love living and I like doing new things and there are so many things I have to do in life so yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. My question to you, Shruti, is what would you like to tell women entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs who are young girls now? Something that
Hmm.
you were 8 years back, 9 years back. So, what
Huh.
exactly you want to tell them? How can they live their dreams and they can be successful and छोड़ ना दे जो उन्हें करना है life में, something like that.
Stop listening to other people. Everybody in this country, especially, everybody has advices to give to everyone without any lived experience of their own. So जितना इधर से आए इधर से निकालो and सबका हाँ हाँ करो but especially as a woman because every man thinks that they own your life and they have better experiences than you and they have a better advice to give to you. So especially like always give time to yourself to hear yourself. मतलब in my even my everyday basis I at least like meditate for like 30 minutes. I just spend time doing nothing for 1 hour at least because of social media and so many things. There's so much noise around us that we are always listening to other people but not ourselves. So always every single day give yourself some time where you are listening to yourself and you are talking to yourself so that you know what you want to do rather than what other people want you to do. That is one and as a woman I guess it's very very important to become financially independent so try to learn as much as you can about your own finances, about making your own money and managing your own money and stuff like that because that literally is the real power at the end of it. Like money is the power, it's your independence. So learn how to manage your own money, learn how to make more money and please make more money. I hope so. And don't let yourself be confined by so many bullshit rules the whole world has for women कि इतनी उम्र तक तो शादी कर ही लेनी है इतनी उम्र तक बच्चे कर ही लेने हैं like so many rules like I call them like bullshit rules that way right like everybody has rules for us so don't try to confine yourself with that and again like just hear yourself do what feels right in that moment maybe you will regret maybe you will not regret but if you don't do it you are definitely going to regret कि शायद कर लिया होता तो शायद आज maybe the results could have been different so just do it and take every day at a time especially after the pandemic now we know we have a very small life so it's not worth spending on other people especially not on men so yeah.
Lovely. Lovely, Shruti. That was a wonderful answer. Thank you so much, Shruti, for being here on our platform. And the journey, your life journey is so amazing, so adventurous. And as I said, मैं हमेशा यही बोलती हूँ कि आप बोलते रहो और हम सुनते रहे. So that's what I always felt when I just listen to you. We would like to wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you
And
so much.
and और आप anything else that you want to tell us, something that I have not asked but something that you really wish to tell us, or we have message
बोल
for you.
क्या message for young girls: don't waste time on men at all. And just focus on yourself, your own career, grow, and don't chase things and don't chase people. Things will come to you. You just focus on yourself and everything comes to you.
Oh,
So,
that is brilliant. That is brilliant. Such a
yeah, I mean,
brilliant.
that is all that I have to share with people. And thank you so much for this. It's so refreshing for me as well to come for this session and just sit down and just talk to somebody. It was so nice. And thank you, everybody. Like, such beautiful comments from everyone. Yeah.
Same here, Shruti. And I would like to tell the viewers that Shruti is down with COVID. वो दिखती नहीं है कि she's down with COVID, but yes, and still she's here spending 1 hour talking with us, and that's the spirit of an entrepreneur. And more than entrepreneur, the person that she is. That's the spirit
Thank
that she
you.
has. Thank you so much, Shruti, and we wish you. We have all our wishes are there with you, and we wish you speedier recovery and get
Thank
well
you so
soon,
much.
and just be back on some other session that we have. So, I mean,
Done.
in
Always.
future, and we would really
Always.
would like to hear you even more on some other topics. Thank you so much, viewers as well,
Thank you so
for being
much.
here, being patient listeners. Thank you so much on behalf of Women with Wings. Thanks, Shruti.